Hey, how's it going? Kenny here, and welcome back to Non-League to Giants and the beginning of the final season of the series where we face Man City away from home. It's been a great start to the new season. We've actually won our first 4 league games of the season and also a trophy as well. Get to that in a second, but there's one other team who've won 4 out of 4 at the start of the season, and that is Man City. And we go there today. First versus second, still very early in the season, of course. But I can see there's been a big game already in the league campaign. Well, of course, last season was a big disappointment in the league. Finishing down in 5th place in the end was truly disastrous. But I did say that 5th place should get Champions League football due to the coefficients, and it did. We are in the Champions League again this season. Thankfully, that is, of course, got to be the minimum for last season. But we ended off the season winning the FA Cup, and that meant we went into the Community Shield where we faced Man City and we beat them in the final. So that's another trophy actually ticked off. I forgot about the Community Shield. Never played in it, of course. Up until the final game of last season, we had never won the league title or the FA Cup. Beating Nottingham Forest secured our place in the Community Shield final, and we beat Man City. So that is very, very nice. But of course, not a very important trophy. One of the most important trophies is the league. And if we beat Man City away from home here, only the 5th game of the season, but that could be a big statement from us. Well, last season's season preview had us down in 1st place. We really did blow it, finishing 4 places below our prediction in 5th place. If we didn't win the FA Cup, I don't know if I would have survived the season, to be honest, because the Champions League was disastrous as well, and the league, of course. This season, we are predicted to finish 1st again, and being the last season of the series, we kind of have to win the league title, don't we? We have to win the league title. It'd be great to go out with a league title. It really would be. Obviously, I'd like to have won more than this, but if we can win the league title in our final season, that would be fantastic. We've got 3 players in the Media Dream 11. Man City have 5, so it looks like us two are the 2 favourites for the league title, as you can see there, 1st and 2nd. Man United won it 2 seasons in a row until last season when Man City won the league title, so this could be a massive, massive game. Also, we've got 2 players who are apparently in the top 4 of the best players in the league. One of them is a new signing, get to him in a second, and Magnaghi. Both Italians as well, by the way, which is very interesting. Also got Maka and Adelson in the Media Dream 11. Again, Magnaghi, he's a 4th best player this season, apparently. He still can't make it in the Media Dream 11, though, which is very, very bizarre. So, played 4 games or 5 games to start off the new season. Let's get to them first of all. As I said, we played Man City in the Community Shield. They won the league title last season. We won the FA Cup, but we beat them in the final 2-1, which was very nice, because this is the only time we ever played in the Community Shield as well, because this is the final season, of course. I'm not going to start off the next season, so it's nice the fact that we played 1 Community Shield and we won it as well. Beat them 2-1. We went 2-0 up in the game through goals from Acosta and Magnaghi. They went it 2-1 through Erling Haaland, who is still kicking about. It's quite crazy. 36 years of age now, and he's still absolutely ridiculous, by the way. His physicals are starting to go down a little bit now, but as you can see there, he's still a very much usable player, and still arguably the best player in the Premier League, or best striker in the Premier League. His record's must be insane. Look at the state of it. Oh my word, what a player he is. We have to face him today as well, which is always a daunting task, it has to be said. After that, played 4 league games. We haven't had a big test in the league so far, it has to be said. We beat Forest at home 1-0. Corrich with the goal there. We then beat Bournemouth away 2-0. Corrich again with 2 goals in this game. And after that, we played Tottenham away from home, beat them 2-0. And yeah, you've guessed it. Who scored the goals? Corrich again. Corrich scored 2 in this game as well. So our first 5 goals in the league in 3 games. Corrich scored all 5 of them, so he was a very, very important player for us in the first 3 games at least. After that, we played Brentford at home. We finally managed to get some different goal scorers in the league. And, well, you may have spotted a new player there. Jude Bellingham, he plays at Portsmouth these days. We'll get to him in a second. He scored just 2 minutes into his debut at home to Brentford. Went 1-0 up. Bruno made it 2-0. They got back into it, made it 2-1, but then Magnaghi and Rocha made it 4-1. So we started off well to the season. I say we've had no tests. We did face Tottenham away from home, and we've struggled against them in recent times, it has to be said. So to beat them 2-0 was very, very nice. But the other 3 games, we really should be winning them very comfortably. So shouldn't get too carried away. But saying that, we've already played Man City this season, and we beat them 2-1. Wasn't a neutral venue, though. And away from home, we are clearly not the best team. So, new season brings in new transfers, and we have had a world record transfer fee paid for a player, and he's now here at the club. Before we get to him, though, and the rest of the other signings, including Bellingham, let's get to the players that left us first of all. And there's been a lot of players to leave us. As you can see there, transfers out, £376 million. So it's been a very, very busy transfer window. I've got £100 million to spend and about 300k extra in the wage budget. I knew it's the last season now. I really wanted a statement signing, a real statement signing. There was 2 players on my shortlist. One plays for Newcastle, one played for Roma, and I chose the guy who played for Roma. We'll get to him in a second. He's a new striker of ours, so I knew I had to raise some money to bring him in. That was for sure, and I managed to do that, which is absolutely great. Brought in some other decent players as well. Well, better than decent, it has to be said. Anyway, first player to leave us was Neil Grace. He's gone to Everton on a free transfer. Not really much needs to be said about him. Wayne Charles on loan to Rochdale. Elliot Jackson, he's gone to West Ham for 10 million. A player who come through our youth system. I think it's safe to say that there's not really any interest of any of the youth players anymore. Not going to see them play. So any funds I could get to raise for signings, that is what I looked for. And anyway, even though I was playing it for a few more seasons, Elliot Jackson is never going to be good enough for us. So to get £10 million for him, I was ecstatic with that. He was on loan at Nîmes last season. Now he plays for West Ham in the Championship. Apologies if you see sweat dripping off my face, by the way, guys. It is extremely hot in England today, which is rather annoying seeing as it's almost the middle of September. But thankfully, this is the only week that's going to be this hot. So, yeah, apologies in advance for that. But I am absolutely boiling. Anyway, after selling Elliot Jackson, Connor Dixon went on loan to Accrington for the season. Darryl Bentley, another one of our youngsters, gone to Leeds for £4 million. And Matthew Thurgood, our biggest potential youngster at the club, he has gone to Red Bull Salzburg for 40 million. Ecstatic with this. 40 million. He actually had Real Madrid after him as well, but Real Madrid, for some reason, couldn't match his £40 million valuation, so he ended up going to Salzburg instead. He's clearly a decent player, and if you look at him, if you look at just his attributes for a winger, he looks like a very good winger, doesn't he? He's very quick, 18 acceleration and pace, great agility as well. He's got great dribbling, so he's ticking all the boxes, to be honest. He's still 20 years of age, about to turn 21, so in normal circumstances, I wouldn't sell Thurgood, although it's not a guarantee that it would be a good enough player for the club. It does look likely that he could feature for some point as a squad player, maybe even a first-team regular. We never know, I guess. But being the last season, a player with such high value, not going to use him this season, so decided to cash in on him. He's gone to Salzburg for 40 million. Been playing in Europe the last 3 seasons now, or 2 seasons. Was on loan at Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga, then he was on loan at Lyon in the French Ligue 1, and now he's gone to Austria to play for Red Bull Salzburg. So very, very interesting. I wish him all the luck, but he's not of any use to us anymore. £40 million in the bank. Very, very happy with that. Also, Seamus Beagley, another one come for our youth system, was in the first team last season, but I think it's safe to say he's no one a fringe player. He has gone to Brentford for £15 million. He's playing in the Premier League still, so he's getting Premier League matches, you see there. 4 games already this season. Already played him as well. Hit 4 passes defence there. He has left us with £15 million. Arda Güler has gone to Juventus for £42 million. Taking a big loss on Arda Güler, has to be said. Signing for £79 million. Did 3 seasons with us, but did he really impress at any point? Not really. You know, his best average rating for a season was in the first one, was 7.05 in the league, with only 4 goals and 6 assists. The next season was even worse, 2 goals and 6 assists. And the season just gone 4 goals and 5 assists. He's not really that key player we're looking for. And I was, obviously, as I said, trying to raise funds to bring in an elite player. So we sold him to Juventus for 42 million, which is kind of annoying, it has to be said, because I had a £50 million offer from Inter Milan, which was accepted, but he rejected the contract. We ended up getting £8 million less for Güler. He's, of course, still a very, very good player, but for some reason or another, he doesn't really work too well in our system. So I'm hoping his replacement works better. He's very good. Well, he's very gifted, technically, attacking and vision, but physical, he's not the best. Mentally, he's not great either. Obviously, he's not good in the air or defending as well. So he's a bit of a one-trick pony, Güler, just going forward. Other than that, he is not the best, but he's clearly a very, very talented player. But we got £42 million for him, and he's 31 years of age, so that is kind of nice. Also, another youngster has gone. David Tavares Fernandez has gone to Boca Juniors for £20 million, rising to £27.5 million. Very happy with this. Only signed for £1.9 million, which is his compensation fee from Benfica. He went on loan for the season to Alves, and then we got £27.5 million for him, it should be, after the end of his clauses. So very happy with that. Could have got more for Fernandez. Had some offers about £35 million, but he wasn't really interested in joining those clubs. So it's kind of annoying we got only £27.5 million for him. But all in all, great profit on him. Again, a very good young player, but he's of no use to me in the series here. The next three to leave us is all on loan: Betts, Balish and Harkin. Then Gascoigne has gone to Inter Milan for £60 million. Very happy with this sale, although Gascoigne is a very good backup striker, it has to be said. Very good backup striker. 18 finishing and 18 composure is very, very nice. Physically, he is not the best, but he's not bad physically. Both footed as well, but I was kind of desperate at this point. I needed to bring in this this striker, as I said, and I needed to raise as much money as possible, and Gascoigne was one to leave us. He's gone into Milan, where he's probably going to be a key player for them. We signed him for 41 million. Last season he was exceptional, to be honest. 24 goals in just 13 starts. 42 total appearances, so he was very good off the bench, Gascoigne, and a very key squad player for us. But £60 million is very nice as well. Still a few more sales to talk of. Kayavel's gone on loan to Ipswich for the season. Edson has gone to Wolfsburg for 50 million as well. He was a good player for us. He was definitely very good in the early stages, that is for sure. That season especially, 10 goals and 16 assists in 2033, and then 7 goals and 16 assists in 2034. But it has to be said, when Edson wasn't one of the first names on the team sheet anymore, he didn't really step up, to be honest. Off the bench or when he featured, 10 goals and 5 assists in 35 games. It's quite good, it's decent. But last season, look at that. 29 games, just 3 goals in the league and only 1 assist. Clearly nowhere near good enough. And that was 18 starts as well. So even 18 starts with 3 goals and 1 assist is nowhere near good enough. So to get £50 million for Edson, very, very happy with that. Also, Andre has gone to West Ham for 30 million. He's going to play in the Championship, Andre, which is very interesting. He was actually quite good for us last season, Andre. He did really well. 15 games, 2 goals and 2 assists in the league. And he got 7 goals and 6 assists in all competitions. He really did step up last season than the 2 previous seasons, it has to be said. But he was no more than a fringe player, Andre, and as I keep saying, had to raise funds. Interesting, he's going to play in the Championship, but it looks like he's going to play for a very, very good Championship team, West Ham. You look at him here, he looks like a very good backup player, but as I said, needed to raise funds. Chino has gone to Mainz for £25 million as well. Happy with this sale. Chino, signed him as a potential player. He didn't quite live up to his potential. He's a decent backup, but I want better backups than Chino, and I definitely replaced him with a very better fullback, has to be said. So to get £25 million for Chino is very, very nice. As I said, it was a decent backup option, but nothing more than that. Carl Smith, another youngster, has gone to Aston Villa for £1 million, and the final sale of the window so far wasn't a player I was looking to sell, but when they come up with a bid for him, I couldn't refuse it, to be honest. Nestor Rocha has gone to Arsenal for £79 million, rising to £101 million. You know, for a player who's a backup at us, I'm ecstatic with that. You look at him here, he's a very good player, but he's not an elite player, is he? He's not an elite player. 27 years of age now. His physicals, not the best. Can't really play him as a very, very good winger with his physicals, has to be said. But he's a very technically gifted player, and he's 20 work rate as well. I never really noticed he had 20 work rate. Bit bizarre. Never noticed that. He's been a good player for us over the last couple of seasons. Last season, though, he didn't score a single goal in the league. We got 5 assists. Season before that, he's putting some decent average ratings for us, Nestor Rocha, over the years, and he's definitely a very key squad player for us. Only signed him for £5 million back in the Championship and got almost £105 million for him. I think one of them is like £22 million after 20 league appearances. The fact that he's an important player for Arsenal now, I'm pretty sure we'll get that money this season. So, wasn't a player I was looking to sell, Rocha, because he's a good squad player of ours. He can play in all the front 4 positions as well, but the offer was just too good to refuse, in my opinion. So that is all the players that left us. There's been a lot of them raising £376 million in player sales. Now let's get to the players that have joined us. The first player to join us is actually a new backup goalkeeper. Ilan Meslier retired at the end of last season. Needed to replace him with another goalkeeper. And that guy to join us is Eddie Lihic. He's joined us from Bayer Leverkusen for £13.25 million. Not the greatest goalkeeper, but he's only a backup option. And £13.25 million was his minimum fee release clause from Leverkusen there. He's got 29 caps for Croatia already, by the way. He's only 20 years of age. Yeah, he's a decent backup option. I don't think he's going to take Lopez's place this season, but you know, you never know how much he might develop in just a few months. He might be much better in a few months' time. We shall see. But only as a backup option, very cheap, very happy with this signing. Also, I should mention that we spent £421 million in players joining us as well. And the next signing after that was the big one. A new world record transfer fee. £260 million he cost me from Roma. And that is Loris Gunyo. He's a player who's been on my shortlist now for a long, long time. And as you can see, He's a very good player. He's a very, very good player. He's 26 years of age. He's got 63 caps for Italy. He's got 26 goals as well. Look at his attributes here. He's outstanding. 17 finishing, 18 composure, 18 dribbling, 17 first touch, 17 technique, 17 off the ball, decisions 18. The list goes on really, doesn't it? He's just amazing. He's amazing in all the departments here. He's also 6'4", so he's a bit of a giant, and he's both-footed as well. So, wow. I had to bring in this guy. It was a toss-up between him and Augustin Schuder from Newcastle. He's an amazing winger, but I decided to go with Gunyu in the end. I feel like we needed that amazing striker at the club. You actually compare him with Koric. He's just better in every single department. Koric, though, I'm looking to play him as my new left winger as an inside forward on attack. He scored lots of goals from that position last season when he played there. He's also scored a few goals in that position this season as well. So I don't think we're really taking anything away from Koric. We're just adding more goals to the team. You look at Gunyu here. He's just a better player. It's not like he's a mile better than Koric, of course, but when you've got a player here who's better in every single department, you've got to go with him as your striker, haven't you? So very, very happy to get Gunyu in. Our front three now is looking ridiculous. Magnaghi on the right, Koric on the left, and Gunyu up front. So very, very happy to get Gunyu in. £260 million is a very, very expensive signing, of course, but it's the final season here with the club. I felt like I needed to make a statement signing, and Gunyu is that man. After signing Gunyu, we actually raided Arsenal for 2 players, and 2 old players, but still, they haven't declined. The first one is Jude Bellingham, who's signing for £37.5 million. He's 33 years of age, but as you can see here, he is still absolutely ridiculous. Normally I wouldn't spend such money on a 33-year-old, but being the last season, and to be honest, looking at him, I think £37.5 million is a great piece of business. Even if you got him at his peak here for 2 seasons, £37.5 million for a player of this calibre really isn't that much money. 33 years of age, 168 caps for England, and 31 goals as well. And I'm very, very excited to get him in. Very, very excited. The next player I bought from Arsenal is another Italian, and that is Giorgio Scalvini. Arsenal sold a lot of players this summer, and 2 of them have gone to us. And they also bought Rocha, of course, from us, with the money we signed 2 of their players from. Scalvini for £32.5 million. He is 32 years of age, 118 caps for Italy, and 6 goals. But as you can see here, he's still an outstanding player. And also, the great thing about Scalvini is he can play either centre-back or DM, which is fantastic. He likes playing as an anchor, but centre-back as well. We all know how good he is as centre-back. Very happy to get him in. 2 great signings from Arsenal here. You know, we've got him 5 years younger. That'll be amazing. But saying that, it's the final season of the series, so it doesn't really matter their age, to be honest, because at the end of the season, I'll be gone anyway. Scalvini and Bellingham have joined us for a combined total of 70 million, but to get 2 players of that calibre for 1 season, for that money, I still think is amazing. The next player I signed was actually a loan signing with an obligation to buy, mandatory future fee in there of £60 million, but he effectively replaces Chino. He's a right back though, but for Fally he can play right back or left back very naturally because he's both footed, and Wilgot Anel I think is an amazing signing. 22 years of age, 22 caps for Sweden as well. He's joining us for 62 million at the end of the season. That was the only way I could get him. I did want to sign him permanently anyway, but I ran out of funds. But look at him. He's a great, great player. Great crossing abilities. Great going forward, it has to be said. Great physically as well. He's just an outstanding player. An outstanding player. Let's actually compare him with Chino. You look at him compared to Chino. Chino is slightly better defensively, but in the rest of the other departments, Arnold is clearly the better player, and they're both exactly the same age as well. So very, very happy to get him in. We've got 4 great fullbacks at the club now. We've got Arnold and Booth who can play right back. We've got Fafali and Edelson who play left back as well. They can also play right back as well, both those 2. So great depth in the fullback department. I'm very, very happy to bring Arnold in. It's going to be a good battle between him and Booth to be our number 1 right back of the season. I'm sticking with Booth. Booth was a very good player for us last season, and he's got a lot of credit in the bank. But Arnold's here to put pressure on him, and I'm very, very happy with that. On loan for the season, but at the end of the season, a mandatory future fee of £62 million, which I don't think is going to be a bad signing anyway. He's 22 years of age, still developing, and he looks like a great fullback. 2 more signings so far in the window after that. The first one was Tim Trout. He has joined us from Freiburg for £42 million. Effectively, he is the replacement for Gascoigne, who's on to Inter Milan for £60 million. I probably think well, you know, looking at, it's a bit of a toss-up who the better player is, really, isn't it, between Trout and Gascoigne. It's important to sell Gascoigne at the time to raise funds to bring in Gunyu. Trout, I would have just stuck with Gascoigne, to be honest, because Gascoigne was good for us last season, and I'd probably lean towards Gascoigne being very, very slightly better, but it's a very, very tough call, isn't it? Let's be honest. Aaron Trout is better in the air, but Gascoigne is quicker. He's got better vision as well, Aaron Trout. But Gascoigne is slightly better going forward. But either way, Aaron Trout was a very good player. Happy to get him in as a backup striker. Bit annoying that he's not versatile at all. He can only play up front, so that's annoying. But 17 finishing, he's got 16 composure as well. He's great mentally, 17 balance. Not so great physically, a bit like... He's very similar to Gascoigne, to be honest. Very, very similar to Gascoigne. So if you can put in the same numbers as Gascoigne last season, I'll be very, very happy with it. He's yet to get double digits in a season, which is a little bit worrying, but... Playing for Freiburg in the Bundesliga, I don't think they're going to create as many chances as we do. So hopefully Aaron Trout can be a great squad option to have. But I think it's safe to say that he is firmly back up to Giorgio. And last but not least, the signing of the summer, another golden oldie. And that is Pedro. Pedro has joined us for Liverpool for £26 million. He wasn't even on my radar, to be honest. He just popped up. I can get Pedro for around £26 million. I looked at him, I was like, you know what? He has still got something about him, it's sure to say. He's not really on the decline yet either, but I'm pretty sure his decline will start this season. But 33 years old, 160 caps for Spain and 33 goals. Also a very versatile player, and he still looks absolutely ridiculous. I rate Bellingham higher than Pedro, to be honest. Bellingham is a more complete player, but Pedro, as a squad player, going to get plenty of game time this season. Very, very happy to get him in. Very, very happy to get him in. That is not the signings done, though, because you may have noticed we've sold lots of forward players and not signed too many. Giorgio and Aaron Trout, the only forward players we've brought in, but Edson, Andre, Nesta Rocha, and Gula have all left us, and Gascoigne, of course. So lots of forward players left us, so I need to bring in some more forward players. Unfortunately, the funds have really dried out now, and can't really bring in any amazing forward players. So I've resorted to signing two young players. One of those is João Montero from Benfica. He's agreed to sign. We're just waiting for his work permit on the 1st of September. £11 million is his minimum fee release clause. As you can see here, we've got some better players than him, like Nesta Rocha was better. Andre is better as well, but, you know, it's a needs-must situation. Obviously, signing Giorgio is very, very expensive and left us a little bit thin in other departments. But Montero is a good player still, 21 years of age. Obviously, not building for the future here, but he's still a good player. Can play anywhere out the front four as well, which is great. So, looking forward to him coming. Only 11 million as well. Not really that big of a risk, is it? And the other one is Rolando Camara. I'm looking to sign him on loan from Newcastle for the season. I can't actually remember what I put in the offer in terms of the mandatory future fee or the optional future fee. But I'm looking forward to getting him as well. Bit similar to Aaron Trout. He's not very versatile. Can only play on the right wing, but he's still a good player. One cap for Peru. 21 years of age, though. Only as a backup player, but we need to bring in some more players in the forward option. So those two should be joining us as well. And also Fraser Organ should be leaving us. He should be going to either Middlesbrough or Everton for £7 million. So the team is looking very, very good this season. I feel like we're strengthening the team magnificently, to be honest. Centre-backs, we've got 4 top centre-backs at the club now. We've got Elliot, Mohamed, Scalvini and Maka. And also, Vafali and Adelson are 2 natural centre-backs. So we've got 6 centre-backs at the club now with a 4-star rating. That is kind of incredible. So I'm hoping for a better defence this season. The right-back is looking very good with Booth and Anil. And obviously the left-back with Adelson and Vafali. Our 8 so-called defenders after Organ leaves are all 4-star players for the club. So I think it's safe to say we are very good in that department. The midfield as well is looking amazing. Scalvini, he's playing DM today. He's going to play DM a lot in the season as well. But we've also got Maka who can play DM. We've got Bellingham, Shermini, Thuram, Acosta, Grana, Jarvis and Pedro. All in the midfield department, so that is looking very good. The forward line, though, is looking a little bit thin, has to be said. We've got Magnaghi, Giorgio, Koric, Bruno and Aaron Trout. And obviously the 2 new players will join us. And the team will be looking very, very complete. I'm very, very excited. Let's get started with this game then. Away to Man City. And in terms of the team sheet, we've got Lopez in goal, Booth right back, Adelson left back, Maka and Elidrissi centre backs. Then we've got Scalvini, Bellingham and Jarvis in midfield. Magnaghi on the right, Bruno on the left. And Koric up front. So unfortunately, new signing Giorgio is yet to score a goal. And he's also picked up an injury. He's out for between 10 days to 4 weeks with a calf strain. He picked up that injury against Brentford, which was rather annoying. So, had a little bit of a shaky start to his new season here at Portsmouth. Played 3 games, yet to score a goal, which is a bit worrying. He did get 1 assist though, and he got a 7 average rating, so it's not like he's been playing badly. He's just yet to get off the mark. Hopefully when he gets off the mark, he'll just be flying in for fun. But he's picked up a little bit of a moderate injury now, which is kind of costly, has to be said. Also, Acosta has been out of an injury. He's back in 3 days' time, so missing those 2 for today's game. But the rest of the team's looking good. Corich has hit 5 goals in 5 games, so that is nice. Bruno starts today as well, he's got 7.97, and Magnaghi is an elite footballer, so Man City away from home. Can we pull off an upset here? Well, let's find out. Before we get started with this first game though, guys, please remember that if you do like this video, hit that like button for me. If you're still watching at this point, then surely you must like the video. So do me a favour and hit that button for me. And also, if you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button as well. It really helped me out and much appreciated. So let's get started then. Away to Man City. Already beat them 2-1 in the Community Shield. Can we beat them in the league? Well, a draw here, I'll be very happy with that, to be honest. The manager is Maurizio Pochettino these days. Haaland is still up front, and Neto and Mesa are 2 very, very good inside forwards. It's absolutely boiling, by the way. The sweat is dripping off my head. Please make this video worth it for me and get a win here away to Man City, because I am absolutely roasting. Roasting! Can't wait for this heatwave to be over. Anyway, it's El Idrissi with the ball. Back to Maka. Only 53 seconds on the clock. Will there be an early goal in this game? Here's a Daleson. We start off with 5 out of 5. Man City have 4 out of 5 because they lost to us in the Community Shield. Here's the Daleson to Jarvis. There's Bruno. Back to Scalvini. There's Maka. A lot of aggressive turnarounds there from the players, but we keep the ball, so I shouldn't moan. Here's Booth. Still Booth. Takes it through lovely. Here's Bellingham, our new signing. Crosses it in. Bruno's there. Poor header. Still on it though. Oh, word. What's going on? Bellingham! Oh, almost 1-0. Andy Booth running down the right hand side there. Added him an instruction this season of cross more often, so hopefully he can get more assists. He's got good crossing ability. Same with Arnold as well. We have started off this game on the front foot here. We have got the match momentum in the match. Man City yet to have a shot in the game. We've only had 1 though, so it's a bit of a boring game so far, isn't it? Wow, this is not a blockbuster, is it? 30 minutes in, 1 shot apiece, none on target. 0.04 and a 0.03 XG. My word. Imagine if this was on Super Sunday. You'd be turning it off immediately, wouldn't you? Terrible so far. We've got another highlight though. That should be another shot really, shouldn't it? Here's Porto, who's naturally a right winger, but he's playing left back today. Here's Mesa, a player I tried to sign years ago from Alaska Nacional, but he joined Man City instead, and he's turned out to be an amazing player for them. I did say a draw would be a decent result for us, but I'd like to see more than none shots on target, to be honest. That first half was absolutely terrible. Look at the state of that. Oh my word. A 0.07 XG and a 0.03 XG. The only thing I can say here is that we're cancelling each other out. I'm not very happy though. I've told the players that at half time, but to be honest, I'll be relatively happy with a 0-0 draw. I'll take. This is theoretically the toughest game we'll face in the league this season. So, you know, defending champions, second favourites for the title. It's been a terrible, terrible game, but a draw away to Man City, I've heard of worse results than that. The front 3 have been disastrous this game, though. It has to be said. Do we bring on Aaron Trout? You know what we do. Bring on. Bruno's been the better of the 3 with 6.5, but he is my least favourite of the 3. So I'll put Corich on the left. I'll put Aaron Trout up front. Let's see what Aaron Trout can do. Obviously, Gunyo is injured right now. Booth is the best player on the pitch. He's got a yellow card. Delson has the greatest of starts to the new season here. You know what? Let's bring on Pedro for his debut. Pedro on for Bellingham. I love saying that. Pedro on for Bellingham. What a lovely thing to say. What a lovely thing to say. Barcelona for Real Madrid. Anyway, Jarvis with the ball here. I don't know who he's aiming for. I don't know where the striker is, by the way. I don't know who he's aiming for as well. It's just a bit of a miss up there, isn't it? Oh, no. It's going to VAR, but I'm 99% sure this is onside. First real chance in the game, they've scored from it. You don't give Erling Haaland a one-on-one opportunity, do you? Just looked at myself in the camera, by the way, and I can see that my head is glistening from the sweat, which is, yeah, not the prettiest sight in the world, is it? More importantly, we're losing this game 1-0 now, which is kind of devastating, to be honest, because we haven't seen anything from them in the game at all. Now what do we do? We know what, Scalvini can come off. Bring on Shamini for him. I think I should bring Arnold on for his debut as well. Brought him on for Andy Booth. I've got more attacking in the game as well. Can we get an equaliser in the last 15 minutes of the match? Yeah, they've been terrible. We've been terrible as well. But to concede that one goal, that's all you need in a game like this, though, isn't it? One big chance like that for a key player like Erling Haaland. And it could be game over for us. 3 minutes to go. Been a really, really poor game. Really poor game from both teams. But I don't think Man City will care if they get the win. We've got one more highlight here. They head it wide. Will it stay on the highlight? Is there a chance for us? No, there's not. Wow, what a terrible game that is for us. One chance for Man City, and they score from it. Not a single green rating to see from one of our players in the match. That is a game to forget for us, it has to be said. Should have drawn the game, shouldn't we really? Should have drawn the game, but Erling Haaland threw 1-on-1 there, as you can see from the XG. It's a goal that he should have scored, and he did score, and that is the difference between the two teams. Look at the match stats, 7 shots each, 2 shots on target each. Possession is very similar as well, 3 corners each. It was just a very, very even game. We should be talking about a draw right now, but unfortunately, we've lost it. But oh well, there's still 33 league games left of the season. Hopefully, we can balance it out and beat Man City at home in the revenge match, which will take place when? Oh my word, look at that. Wow. Okay. Final game of the season. We've got a chance for revenge against Man City. How important could that be come end of the season? Maybe they've won the league title by then. We shall see what happens. But I didn't even know that. I didn't even know we're playing Man City at home in the final game of the season. And Newcastle away. Wow, what an ending to the season that is. But anyway, that's miles away. That's miles away. Shouldn't be thinking about that right now. In terms of the next episode, guys, well, similar to last season, I'm going to play lots of games off camera. And I think I'm going to bring you back for games in December or January. So we shall see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to play lots of games off camera. We've been given quite a favourable Champions League phase draws this season. Home to Hertha Berlin. Played them a couple of occasions already. Smashed them on both occasions. So very confident about that. Home to Porto as well. I was about to say I'm very confident about that. But of course, they knocked us out on the round of 16 last season. So not going to make up for that for sure. But hopefully we can get some sort of revenge at least there. Away to Shakhtar as well. Away to Sevilla. Away to PSG again. Lost that game 2-0 last season. Well, I say that. Maybe we've got a bit more tricky fixtures than I say, because we've got 4 away games to Shakhtar, Sevilla, PSG and Atlanta. Are those 4 guaranteed wins? I don't think so. Then we end off the campaign at home to Salzburg and at home to Real Sociedad. So we should be alright, let's be honest. We are one of the biggest teams in the world right now. We've also won the Champions League 2 seasons ago. In terms of the league, we've got Newcastle at home next. We beat them 4-0 in this fixture last season, so I'm hoping for a similar in this season. Villa at home, Chelsea away, lost that game last season. Man United at home, Liverpool at home as well, Sheffield United away. So got some very, very big games coming up. But as I said, I'll bring you back for one of the games, 2 of the games in December or January. So that is the end of the video, guys. Please remember that if you do like the video, hit that like button for me. And also, if you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out and it's much appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.